I'm a jeweler, and I live here in Morrisville, Vermont. About 7 years ago, I transferred up to University of Vermont from Massachusetts. I took all the jewelry classes I could, and I really focused on metal and sculpture, kind of outside of those classes. And sculpture is definitely part of jewelry. I think that maybe one of the most interesting things about jewelry is how cross-disciplinary it can be. You know, jewelry just draws a lot of outside influences because it's something that people have worn since the dawn of time. People enjoy adornment, and the more interesting and unique you can make it, it's just, yeah, it just has a lot of colors. I start all my work as sketches, and from those sketches I usually transfer my sketches to graph paper, and from there I cut that out, and then I transfer that to a piece of copper, and I cut that piece of copper out, and that copper piece becomes my template. So if I make it in the future, I have a piece where I just trace and I know exactly the shape and size. And I'm usually cutting that piece out, you know, usually forming, shaping, soldering it together with other pieces. It really just depends on the size, how much inlay there is, whether there's marriage of metals, just combining two metals together, which I do a lot. It's this thing where I wrap, you know, sterling and copper together, and I oxidize the inside of that copper and kind of turn it a nice turquoise blue or whatever color it wants to be. And so that way these simple forms, squares, circles, triangles, teardrops, look, you know, very simple and look like lines from one aspect, but they turn a little bit and they just open up and they have this depth to them and this color. You know, it's really the hues that I can get from just like oxidizing and this surface texture I can get from how I finish the pieces. Primarily work with sterling and copper. I also started working with gold recently too. And I only really work with metals. Something about metals has just always attracted me. You are working with iron, this structural element that holds up towers and buildings in New York and whatnot. And you put it in the fire and you take it out and it's putty. It's plastic. Here's this element that's so strong but yet supple, and the way that you can just work it and make something from it, it's not necessarily a power trip, but it's definitely, I don't know, it's powerful, and having that ability to shape something so strong is attractive, and that's why I love metal, and I want to kind of stick with metal and just kind of push metal's boundaries. Yeah, I get to work with, you know, creating hollow and creating form, and it's just captivating. Those pieces take a long time, but they're worth it. When I moved out here, the space where I work is the greenhouse, but we totally reconstructed it to allow me to cohabitate in here with the green stuff when that comes in. Probably the most important tool that I'm really proud of is my bench. It's kind of built specifically for me and for my height and to be as ergonomic as possible. And so I made that. It's super strong. I love it. And I made it to be a European style, wherein there's a giant cutout for the bench pin where you're doing all your sawing and your cutting, so it becomes a little more ergonomic. You can kind of rest on it. It's just a little bit better for your body. Yeah, I always knew that I wanted to do something for myself and for my own art, and it's just kind of how it's manifested. If anything, I'd say it's just drive, the need to kind of create something new, but I'm always adding in new pieces and new ideas or changing that old idea. It's just a continual process. I take some theme from that piece and make something new, and that's what keeps me going, is that moment when I feel the need to make something new, and I do. I definitely see myself doing this, and I will push jewelry, as far as I can possibly push it. But I also kind of want to build up a sculpture studio too. I do, have the urge to make big things, and that might be part of the future. But for right now, it's Vermont and jewelry and being here.